Let's give a big round of applause, like we know how, for the Philadelphia High School for Girls.
You're first, Victoria. Oh, what's going on? Over here, over here.
Daughters of democracy is our game. Participatory budgeting is our game.
I am so excited about the fact that you looked at budget at all. Funding is essential, and so the fact that my students have decided that they too would focus on that area, it makes me so proud that you are aware of and wanting to learn more about how budgeting works in our school. But having your voice heard as a student who is the person or the persons who are the beneficiaries of the budget as we know it is so very, very important. Make sure we understand what you want as students. Make sure that I know as your principal how I can help impact those areas that you think are most important.
Daughters of Democracy is our name. Participatory budgeting is our game. We are the Daughters of Democracy.
We are located in the neighborhood of Olney on the north. We are located at the Philadelphia High School for Girls in the neighborhood of Olney on the north side of Philadelphia.
We have accepted the Participatory Budgeting Challenge proposed by PB advocate Sherry Davis.
Our mission is to engage people who aren't typically given the opportunity to decide where money goes within their community. Usually that's decided by a group of teachers and our principal.
We felt it was time for students' voice to be heard, and that's where participatory budgeting comes to play.
What is participatory budgeting?
Participatory budgeting is a democratic process in which the community decides where a portion of the, where part of a public fund goes to.
In this case, it's a democratic process in which students decide where real money is going within their school.
To ensure we follow 4 simple steps given to us by Sherry Davis.
1. Brainstorming ideas. We collected ideas for projects from our school community through meetings and discussions.
2.
Developing proposals. The idea collected in step 1 is in process of being narrowed down into 4 to 5 feasible projects by the steering committee with the help of our principal.
3.
Casting a vote. The 4 feasible projects are then transcribed onto ballots. The community then receives these ballots and casts their votes.
4. Funding the winning project. Now that the community has casted their votes, the winning project is then funded and implemented in the school community.
It wouldn't be a challenge had we not encountered issues.
In order for participatory budgeting to be executed properly, you have to have a pot of funds given to you by the school district, your school itself, and/or other resources.
We emailed a number of people.
Unfortunately, we either couldn't get in touch with them or they weren't able to help.
In the end, our principal was one of the only people who truly helped us. Nabrea and I had several meetings with her.
She made sure she guided us. She made sure she understood our goals and guided us as well. Dr. Murr was 100% on board with everything our team proposed to her.
We have 4 things on our ballot.
Textbooks for science and history classes.
Computers for room 108, a room dedicated for study hall, printing, and computer access.
Printers for room 108.
And new Chromebook carts.
As you can see, Printers for Room 108 was the clear choice with a total of 428 votes. I'm sorry. As you can see, Printers for Room 108 was the clear choice with a total of 428 votes. No electoral college here because we're trying to run a true democracy.
After tallying the votes, we conclude that 69% of our school population actually did vote.
To ensure that our principal would keep her word, we made sure she made announcements over the loudspeaker for everyone here.
We also discussed how we will keep participatory budgeting at our school for years to come. It's a wonderful, inclusive, democratic process in which schools should use to include their students in allocating parts of the school's budget.
Great job, ladies. 3 minutes for question and answer.
So I love this idea of having students participate in the creation of the school budgets. You mentioned that you reached out to some people. What kind of people did you reach out to?
We've reached out to the chief education officer, the chief financial officer, and many other people we tried to get in contact with. Otis Hackney, and most of the people that we tried to get in contact with, they either didn't know what we were talking about after we explained it many times, or they just couldn't help, with the time frame. They couldn't give us a good amount of money and time and things like that.
And is this going to be an item that your principal puts in her school budget for next year?
So could you repeat the question, please?
Are the printers going to be an item that goes in the principal's school budget for next year?
Right, because it won, our principal, again, because we couldn't get funds from outside sources, so she made sure that our project went well. So she said, she made sure our list was, able to get funded, and whatever was picked, she made sure she can do it. So that's going to be implemented, and she made sure that could happen.
Great
with
job.
whatever went.
Yeah. So ladies, good job. I would love to know what the conversation was like when you switched from thinking about food recovery into democratic budgeting.
Okay, so basically, we had first decided the food recovery one, but then after more research about participatory budgeting, we found that it would be more effective and productive in our school itself, and because we don't see much of the students being involved in where the budget is going, and them making the decisions in the school.
Okay, you like the idea of decision making? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that students were more or less engaged through this process?
More engaged, because our school is always complaining, we need new air conditioners, we need this, why can't we make the decisions? So people were really happy that they got a chance for their voice to be heard.
Awesome.
All right, any more questions?
I just have one more question. So those students that didn't participate, did you get a sense of why they chose not to vote?
The reason why were mostly only because they weren't in there, because we did it during advisory, and some kids come late, so that was the only reason why.
Okay.
All right, time's up. Let's give them a round of applause. Great job.